Cassandra, and I'm here making another video. I usually start my videos with some beautiful flowers. The styling for these flowers really embody wealth and well-being. They're a little bit zen just by adding this nice long piece. A regular arrangement can be made to have that wonderful yoga, well-being, all those buzzwords that go with that feeling of contentment, a contented state of mind. That's what the look of these flowers really is. The vase too is a modern style, so that helps to make that look possible. It is so simple and cost me very, very little. So that's a really nice, inexpensive thing that you can do to warm up your room and home by just making something very, very simplifying. So when I look at that, I think simplicity, contentment, and when I'm putting it together too, it's a practice where I'm putting something together that's making me feel good, and I'm mindful of what I'm doing. I'm mindful of how I'm arranging, I'm mindful of what I'm creating, and then other times I'm just kind of zoned out. After you create something once that way, you make it a practice. It's an ongoing thing for me to have fresh flowers in my home. So over there on the floor, we have some pots of lavender, these big plants. So there's a little mini lavender garden on the floor over there in my home. I'll have to show a shot of that at the bottom of this video on my blog. So go to the blog to see what that looks like. Okay, so what is this video about? You already know because there's a caption up there or down there telling you about what we are talking about. And I shouldn't be showing you too soon, but I've already shown, so now I have to. How not to take things personally. And I will try not to read from this. It's tempting to, though. It's tempting. So the other night, how did I even get the idea for this video? Okay? The other night, I went to a sales marketing training event, and after the speech, a lovely, sweet woman put her hand up to ask a question. Not me. But she did have a beautiful Trinidad accent. Anyways, she said, in sales, how can we not take rejections and when people turn us down personally? Okay, or I would go even as far to say as when people treat us badly, because we teach people how to treat us. And when we're soft-spoken especially and shy, people can take advantage of that and push their energy onto us and be like, rah, rah, rah. So how do you hold your ground and push that away from you? You know, how do you deal with that? That's what she was asking. And the speaker answered the question, and I didn't get to put my 2 cents in. Now, did I want to? I wanted to put my hand up and be like, oh, okay, well, let me tell you how about that, because as a saleswoman, that's natural. Okay, in a given day in retail, I used to work when I was from the ages of 17 to about 21. I worked in a very nice part of Toronto called Yonge and Egg, and people would turn you down sometimes, but what I learned was how to sell very expensive products and not take it personally when people said no, because the choice is really up to them in the end, so you have no control over that. So getting emotional over choices that you don't have control over doesn't make sense. That's what I learned then. Also, what can you do? How can you best approach the sales? So over that time as a girl, I learned what worked and what didn't. So eventually I would have my sales spiel nailed down for each product. So if you're selling skiwear that costs $2,000, okay, how do you sell that to people? There is a way. There is a way to make that sale. So anyways, let's get back to what she was saying. She was saying, okay, someone goes through the sales process with you and then they say no. And how do you not then feel badly about that? Especially if you're an entrepreneur, you're selling a little piece of yourself. You're selling something you believe in. How do you then turn it around and say, okay, I'm not going to feel bad right now. I'm going to share with you how I did that and do that. Whenever I'm selling anything, selling things, or pitching things, how do I then deal with things when they don't work out the way I want them to? Okay, so let's go back to the list that I made you. It's very high tech. So the number one thing there is be a great listener. Okay, ask questions. So if you have the opportunity and they're like, no, I don't think I'm going to go with that. And you're like, already, you're like, I really wanted to make that sale. You could go that way. You could be like, okay, let's just cancel what we're going to say and not proceed. But a better thing to do as a great salesperson is to be a great listener and ask them questions and delve and say, okay, I know this isn't the right thing for you right now, but it could be in the future. Okay, I'm going to put that out there to you. And why don't you tell me what your number one objection is? Okay, what is the thing that is holding you back today? Because this is good for you, and I know that. I know this is the right thing for you. So that's a great thing to do. Ask other questions. Well, what if it came in another color? What if I could get it from another store with a different fit or a different look or something like that? There are other products in the line. Have you thought about that? So other suggestions can be put forward to them. Okay, so be a good listener, but also be a good educator, which is at the bottom, number 3. So educating them a little bit more, slipping in some information before they walk away. I'm assuming this is a face-to-face sale. Say, I know it's not the right thing for you right now. I hear what you're saying, but think about it. And one last thing to leave you with is go to the website, check out the product when you have some spare time. Think about it again. So that little bit of insistence on education is important too. Okay, so be diplomatic. This is my key morsel to you. My key marketing morsel to you. This one right here, number 2. Be diplomatic in ending the sales process. Okay, so I'm assuming you've been let down as a rejection and you're walking away. Okay, so the best thing to do is be like, okay, I hear you. That's the diplomatic thing to say. I understand where you're coming from. And I might feel that way too if I were you. So I am recommending that you do that. Okay, so but let's say someone is very mean to you, because she might have been asking about that. I didn't get to talk to her, so this is why I'm making this video, to put in my 2 cents. So let's say someone is mean to you during the sales process, because as salespeople, as anyone in the world pitching an idea, you can be turned down and criticized in the process, because everyone likes to think that they're like, you know, the dragons and they get to criticize everything. But what we know about the dragons is that they've already looked at all the background information, so they're making informed decisions. Okay, but your customer might not be, and they might not be treating you very well. So what you can do if someone is kind of attacking you, okay, because this has happened to me in the sales process, or people say outlandish comments, how do you not take that personally? What I usually do is just ignore it. What I do is do the deadpan face, the poker face. Okay, is what I always say. Okay, meaning I don't approve of what you're saying and how you're treating me right now. I know better and I know more about this product and idea than you do. Okay, so I'm the informed person about this product, and you're kind of criticizing me and criticizing my knowledge of the product. But what I'm trying to tell you is that I'm here to give you information. I'm here to educate you and be diplomatic and give you that information in the most diplomatic and nice way possible for your own benefit. So that's how I always treat sales. That this is really a good fit for you once I've determined that. So let's say if something was just a horrible fit for someone, I wouldn't sell it to them, because then they're going to return it, and that costs the company money, and that costs everyone in the end. So the best thing to do is to find out if it's the right fit first, then decide. Educate as best you can. This is where I'm coming from. This is what I know the product can do for you. This is what I know, coaching would do for you if you're into coaching. I don't like the word coaching. I'll always say that. It's not really the right term for what coaching is. Anyways, that's my own thing. So I try not to bring my own stuff into it too. So how to not take things personally. After a while, you develop a thick skin. And it doesn't matter, because you've already sold 80 of these products, so you don't care if one person is like mad at you because of their product, and you're like, why are you mad? I know you're stressed about your own life and you're taking it out on me. So that knowing that people have their own stuff going on, and that sometimes that stuff is going to spew onto you, and you're going to be like, these are my boundaries. Okay, I know I'm a good person, and I'm just here to give you the information that is really 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm not hiding anything. This is a beautiful ski wear outfit, and it's going to serve you for many years. It's a good investment. So there are many reasons why I'm not going to sell you any ski wear today and go through that process, but it is interesting because people need it, and there's a good choice and a bad choice for buying. Their money could go farther. So I also present very practical information and present myself as, okay, if I were you, look at things practically. And that kind of takes them out of their stuff. Because then they're like, oh, this person's a helper. This person's here to give me good information. This person is here to guide me along because they know about it. So I'm just going to listen. So one of the things that's tough to sell, but I ended up selling lots of, is kids ski wear. So I look at my own sales processes this way too. So if someone's going to buy the jacket, then they also need the mitts or the gloves. What is it? What is your idea of the better choice? Is it going to be mitts? Is it going to be gloves? There's an answer. So I always used to say, mitts are better because your fingers are together and the child's hands are going to be warmer. And it's the way you say it, because you care about those children's fingers and that they're warm. So also, do they need a scarf? Do they need a headband? Do they have the ski pants? Get the matching ski pants. Then the daughter next year can upgrade. And there are all these practical tips. And once people realize that you know more than them and you're there to serve a purpose of minimizing their stress, then they really respond to you. And that's how you're going to make the sale, because that's what sales are all about. That's what coaching is all about. It's minimizing people's stress. So sales and coaching, you could say they go together. Coaching, for lack of a better word. It's not the best word, because we're not like blowing whistles, coaching people. I don't know. It's just a weird image to me. But coaches, consultants, encouragers, innovators, all of those people, they're faced with that problem. So how to not take things personally. So no coaches out there, don't take things personally. I am thinking about you, and it's not my intention to hurt any coaches out there who might call themselves coaches. But anyways, how to not take things personally, it is an important topic. So That's something sales professionals, consultants, and coaches could talk about if they're watching these videos to get information from me on how to help people, because it really is about being thoughtful. So if you're a salesperson, it's almost like training yourself to be mindful. It's like training yourself to be thoughtful. So at that very young age, I did realize that sometimes people just are not going to respond to you. They're not going to like you. Some people just pass you straight. They just walk right by you. You don't know why. And you can't take that personally. Sometimes you expect it from certain people. Sometimes you look at people and assume they're a certain way, and they come up to you and they're the nicest people. Some people have walls up and they're all mean and they're like shopping silently. And then they come up to you and they've checked you out. They realize that you're a nice energy. They come up to you and they might ask something of you. So I'm talking also about in a networking situation, you might perceive someone to be mean. Oh, that person's just avoiding me. They're going to everyone else in the room. That's something that you could take personally. That's something that I might take personally, because I source the room and I'm like, okay, I want to talk to that person and that person. But if they're out going in a different direction than me, I might be like, oh, I want to get to them. So in that sense, make the point to go up to them. So they might be taken off, but I always make the point. And then I'm like, see, look at that guy. He was so nice. I'm so glad I went up to him and made the effort to introduce myself, because now we're going to try to work together and this is great and things are moving. So it's so important, because I could easily be like, well, he's talking to that person, blah, blah, blah. I'll catch him next time. And then you never see the person again. That is something that I also learned very, very young, that you've got to seize those moments. You've got to seize the day. Carpe diem is how they say it in Latin. And go forward. Make sure you talk to those people who you resonate with, because you might never have that situation again. So those are very, very important life lessons that anyone of any age could look at this video and learn. But as for not taking things personally, sometimes you just have to be like, I don't understand why a person is mean to me, and I'm just going to chalk it up to their stuff. Their own human nature, their own life plan and scheme. The ski is just not right for them right now. And I don't know why. And it really doesn't matter to me, because another person's going to come along and buy the ski wear in the end. And what's the point, as I said before, of selling something to someone or giving something to someone? Let's say you're giving out a free program and they don't want it. Okay, so there's no point in giving things to people that they don't want. Okay, go to the people who want you. And in sociology, I have mentioned this before in previous videos, we do know that in sociology, there is something called the pool of eligibles. So when I walk into a room, I know that there's a pool of people who are going to be attracted to me. That's a dating theory, but it applies to friendship, it applies to business, it applies to niceness. Okay, there's going to be a pool of people I can count on that are going to be nice to me. There's going to be a pool of people that I'm going to connect with, but I have to make the effort to go and meet all of those different people and not just stick to one thread necessarily. So that's the job of someone who really wants to be a strong entrepreneur. Don't keep your business to yourself. I've been to other events where people are like, oh, I'm not telling you anything about my business. Well, you need to share that, because people want to know. And when nice people are asking, share that with them. There's nothing wrong with that, because they might have feedback for you that you can use. So I totally appreciate, I really appreciate anyone who's giving me feedback at networking situations, because I've taken that to heart and noted those things. Really, you think that? Okay, I'm going to note that, and maybe that will come up for me in the future. And what is this thing up here? Because we don't edit videos here at Cassandra Russell's Video Making. Just kidding, kidding. Okay, this is a nail in the wall. There was a picture there, but I took it down. I want to make this video very minimal and have you remember these key points, because everyone watching this, if you've made it to 20 minutes, then you've learned this. No, you've got to put it into practice. And being diplomatic, it doesn't happen like that. Okay, you just don't turn into a nice person automatically. You've got to go through these sales. So as you are going through these different sales, say to yourself, I'm building up my diplomacy skills. I'm building up my teaching skills. And I'm building up my listening skills, because those are the key things to sales. Because once you've got people on your side where they're like, you are a stress reliever, okay, I'm going to buy from you. That's the key, I believe, in sales to closing things. It's not necessarily about money. A lot of it is about if they like you or not. It is true. So, but if people don't like you, then that's okay, and they can move on. So that's what I'm ending the video with, a nice close-up shot of this, and telling you that if people are mean to you, just know that I like you. And I'm looking out for you, and I care enough to make these videos, and I'm going to leave you with those ideas.